Hey everyone, today I am going to be transplanting tomatoes. Now I'm going to show you how I do it. If you've already got tomatoes existing in pots, you've got to put them into a garden bed or even a bigger pot. This is how I would do it. This is how I recommend to do it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thanks. All right, let's get into it. Now this is the bed. Now I've got my lattice. Make sure your lattice is really attached to the structure, wall, staked in, attached to the stakes. However you've kind of got it stable or stabilized, make sure that's nice and safe first, alright, because you can get a windy gust blow through somewhere and just blow things down, smash everything. Months of tomato growing gone in an instant, like floods of tears. So I'm putting in 3, alright. So I've just spread out the mulch just to mark the spots. So I've got a couple that are going there. They're all climbers. They're not regular tomatoes, they're climbing varieties. And the third one is the one I'm going to put in today. Now all I've done is clear the sugarcane mulch aside, dug the hole, obviously. I'm ready to go. Now, I have been watering this bed the last few nights. So this ground, the soil in here, is really nice and cool, really moist. It's all good, all right? If you find that you're planting in an area that's dry as and it just hasn't been watered, this is what I do for trees. You can do the same thing. Dig the hole, fill it up with water and leave it overnight, and then the next day come in and plant. Try and plant the cooler parts of the day too, so you're not kind of throwing the plant into the hottest part of the day. You really want to plant it early morning, afternoon, as in, you know, evening, late afternoon. So once it cools down a bit. All right, now I'll show you the plant. This is, hang on a sec. Now this is it. This is a seed that was growing in the kitchen, and I put it in a pot, or put it in a Tupperware container. So it's done really well, but it's just struggling in there. All right, so our hole's ready. We've got our plant. The other thing you want to make sure is what you're going to tie it onto, if you need to tie it on straight away. So make sure you got that by handy. Hang on, handy, close by. Yeah. So I'll only need a couple of straps for this, and I'm using this soft, it's Jolly Tie. Anyone Jolly Tie you're listening, give me a message. Oh, we can help each other out. All right, so Jolly Tie is the best, but you just don't want anything that's going to rub on here and abrase it and cause it, you know, friction. You can see here where one of the kids grabbed the branch off. I said, yeah, you can, you know, knock these branches off, but they didn't cut it, they just tore it. So you can see the scar line down there from ripping it off. New ones coming through, that's fine. All right, let's plant this bad boy. Now I'm imagining that this is going to be pretty root bound. We can see on the sides, whoops, there we go, there, that it is. Now if I can balance this to try and do it one-handed. Hang on a sec. What's up? All right, so let's, just gonna tip this out. There we go. Yeah, look at that. Good healthy root system, so that's cool. Now we're just we want to try and keep the root ball as secure as we can so we don't have too much transplant shock, but I don't want all this surface stuff. That'll do us. All right, so we'll try and keep as much of the root ball with soil on it as you can. Okay, all right, now let's get it over to the other bed. Okay, so the bed's ready to go. I've got my ties. I've got some water that I'll go over in a second with. So we want to get this in the ground. Now it's obviously an established plant, so we're just going to drop this in first and secure all of this first, all right? So I'm going to go for, I might just turn it around. All right, so feel free to move this around, whether it's a tree or a plant or whatever, to get a position that's going to suit the actual climbing apparatus. Okay, all right, so we're going to go for here. I'm going to tie this up first. Let's just get this on. And all you need to do, if you're not good with knots, tie lots. So I'm just going to do a couple of granny knots. And don't tie it, like, attach it really firm. Just give it a bit of leeway, okay? So that's got a fair amount of space. I'm going to put another one down here to keep it secure as well. Again, just a couple of granny knots. All right, now we're going to fill it in. Just pack it in around the sides, just gentle, don't be too harsh on it. Create a little bit of a well around it, so when we water, the water's not going to just go off everywhere else. We want it to go to where the root ball is. And we can just put our mulch back on top. All right, cool, so far so good. Now I've just watered it in, but I've watered it in for really weak seaweed solution. I've used sea salt. What's going on? Oh, it's all right. Do you want to play with the ball?
Yeah.
All right, give me 2 seconds. I'll be back. All right, what I was going to say before I went and kicked the footy for a bit was when you first water it in really well, but water it in with either some kind of if you're going to use a fertilizer like sea salt or Charlie Carp or any of those things, kind of don't do it. I would err on the side of a weaker solution rather than a full strength one, purely because the plant it's like it's asleep to a degree. It's obviously growing, but it's like it's asleep. We're waking it up, and then we want to shove it in somewhere else and make it go to sleep again. It's like a baby. So we don't really want to kind of force feed it with anything, but we just want to kind of take the edge off a little bit of the transplant, which is known as transplant shock. You know, plant can go into that, which sounds very hardcore, but it's generally all right if you just kind of, if you're prepared to begin with, like I was saying, dig your hole, have everything there, and then unpot your plant, put it straight into the new place, fill it in, and then give it a quick feed. You're all good. You can get a product called Plant Starter. I think I haven't used it for years, but I remember having good success with it. That's something that's purely for transplant shock in plants, trees, all kinds of things. This kind of process like that I'm talking about, like transplanting these plants, you can use for anything, like trees, shrubs, anything you're going to move either to another pot or into the ground itself. So cool. All right, hope this helps. Hope you're all doing well. Don't know where you are as far as countries and all that stuff go. Here in Australia, we're kind of easing out of the whole COVID thing. I know a lot of other countries have flared up. So I hope you're all doing well. Stay safe, wear your mask, all that stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I know it's a drag, and you know, there's all people think this and people think that and stuff like that, but let's just kind of get through it, you know what I mean? So we can have a Christmas and see our families and all that kind of stuff. So I hope you're doing well wherever you are. All right, better go. All right, take care. I'll see you soon. Check me out on Instagram at Produce Garden. There's no the, it's just at Produce Garden. And I'm on Patreon as well. But Patreon, I don't know. All right, take care. Also a good idea, if your memory's as bad as mine, just to put the tag somewhere close by to the plant as well. This one needs a little bit of growth. I'm going to put a little bit of stake in next week. You can see there's the original one. I've put these two in. So I need a little bit more height on these before they can kind of get attached. But if you're, like I said, if your memory's bad like mine, just put the tag there and you'll always know which plant it was. And if you want to keep seeds.